Listen, I need to tell you something that goes against almost everything that you have been taught about success in 2026. You are entering a world that is obsessed with speed, where it's fast money, fast careers, fast results, AI that can do the work for you, platforms that are promising you all of these shortcuts, and influencers who look like they just managed to somehow skip the line. But there's a quiet truth that nobody is telling you, and that's that the things you get too early or too easily or without becoming ready for them, they don't elevate you. Instead, they hollow you out. And there's a name for this problem. It's called the unearned advantage. And it's the fastest way to sabotage your future without even realizing it. That was my biggest takeaway from The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Because success isn't about getting the thing, it's about becoming the person who can carry it without collapsing. And there's a lesson here that most people miss. And the point was never the reward at the end. There's a reason why The Alchemist still matters even in today's age, where a young boy crosses the desert, loses everything, works menial jobs, he doubts himself, he faces danger, all to find the treasure at the pyramids. And when he finally gets there, he learns that the treasure was buried where he began. People say that it was pointless, but it wasn't, because if he found the treasure at the start, he wouldn't have been the boy with the gold, not a man with wisdom. Every setback trained him, every delay strengthened him, every humiliation shaped him. And the journey wasn't a mistake, it was the preparation. Modern psychology even backs this up for us, where people who experience that manageable struggle develop stronger judgment and resilience and emotional control compared to people who were protected from difficulty. The translation in 2026: if your early career feels a bit confusing or slow or uncomfortable, please, you are not behind. You're actually being built. And this is a warning for the AI generation. You need to beware of borrowed mastery. Carl Jung had a warning that feels painfully relevant today, where he says, beware of unearned wisdom. What does this look like in 2026? It looks like using artificial intelligence to think for you instead of with you, where you're skipping the fundamentals and you're jumping straight into the authority, where you're mistaking this access to information that we have for actual understanding. And when knowledge arrives without the effort, the discipline, or the failure, then it doesn't anchor. Instead, it inflates your confidence without actually strengthening your competence. And that is the dangerous part, because the workplace doesn't break you with complexity. It breaks you when you think you're capable and the reality proves otherwise. Real mastery is slow, it's quiet, and often it's invisible, and it's built when nobody is watching. Guess what happens when you skip the becoming phase? Let's be honest, guys, about the shortcuts your generation is being offered. Fast success without that skill actually leads to imposter syndrome. When you get that fast money without the discipline, then it leads to financial instability. That fast validation that you get from likes without the effort, it leads to fragility. So we need to look at the patterns and start to understand them, not the exceptions. The people who inherit that status before responsibility, they often crumble under pressure. The people who outsource their learning will struggle when systems change because they don't know how to apply it in different industries. The people who chase dopamine hits, right, instead of the depth, they lose the ability to tolerate real life. And anything that gives you that reward without the work will quietly make you weaker. Not immediately, but eventually. So, guys, failure isn't the enemy. Premature comfort is. There's a reason why so many meaningful stories include loss and humiliation or hitting a wall. And those moments, they strip you of the illusion and they force you into the world of honesty. They build that humility within a person. And rock bottom isn't sacred, but rather avoiding growth is destructive. Sometimes the hard job teaches you discipline, and sometimes the rejection teaches you clarity. Sometimes the slow seasons in your life are teaching you patience and self trust, and sometimes the thing that feels like delay is actually protection. keeping you from a future that you were not ready to sustain. So that's my big sister advice. What you're really working for. Here is the part that no job description is going to tell you. Your first years at work are not about the salary. They are about the identity, where you're not just learning the tasks, you are learning how to respond to pressure, time management, you're learning discipline, boredom, failure, feedback, responsibility, and uncertainty. You are becoming someone, and you need to appreciate that. The real reward of effort isn't what ends up on your CV, it's the version of you that exists because you didn't quit that apprenticeship or that internship. You didn't outsource, you didn't numb yourself through the process. That version lasts longer than any title. So instead of chasing shortcuts, this week let's ask ourselves, like, where am I avoiding discomfort in my life? Where am I choosing convenience over growth? And where am I letting all of these tools replace actual learning? Who am I becoming because of the way that I work, not just what I earn? These are the lessons I want you to take with you. Then go out there and do the harder thing, do the slower thing, do the thing that you're going to do without any recognition or praise, the thing that teaches you something about yourself. Because the future doesn't belong to people who move the fastest. It actually belongs to people who are the most grounded in their journey. And this journey, it's not something to rush through. It's the training ground for the life that you say you want. The struggle, it's not a flaw in the system. Take it from me. It is the system. And the transformation that you're going to earn along the way is going to be your real advantage in your career. So let us go and build it. Ladies and gents, I'm Jessica Maleka, also known as Jessica Cresco, bringing you all things artificial intelligence and future of work related. So you might want to stick around.